Well, today's video is the fourth video in support of my disability ministry and foundation. This is in support of Top Up Global Disability Ministry and Foundation, a ministry specially supporting people who are disabled and in critical situation. We have given disability a wrong interpretation, and it is now our assignment to give disability a clarified definition. Today's topic is found in the book of John, chapter 9, verses 1 to 4. And it talks about Jesus healing the man born blind. Listen, as Jesus passed by, there was a man born blind. And so his disciples asked him, Rabbi, this man who is born blind, is it because of his sin that he's born blind, or because of his sin or the sins of his ancestors? But Jesus' reply was that neither did this man sin, or neither is it this man's sin to be blind, nor the sins of his parents. He is blind so that the words and the work of God will be manifested in him. Brothers and sisters, as the years pass by, we have all come to inherit a story of whenever somebody is disabled, born disabled, encounter disability on his way in life, in the journey, we interpret it to be his own sin. Do we take this interpretation, or do we divorce ourselves from this interpretation? Well, disability is not your fault. Today, you might be correct, but tomorrow, something could happen and your life would change. We are all disabled because the age-related sicknesses that come by our way even make people become disabled. And why do we ask all these questions about somebody's sickness is the result of his own what? Sin. Or why do we ask questions about why these things all happen? The question that we must know, or what we must know, is that God doesn't make mistakes. But for us to put a question mark before the greatness of God, that is why we make or we put these questions. The devil influences us to make these questions, to question the omnipotence of God. But let me tell you, the world is full of questions, but the Word of God is full of answers. As we go by, I would want to take this opportunity today to tell you that anybody who sees somebody who is disabled must not give this wrong interpretation about he being a sinner or his sins that led to this. Because the Bible tells us that it is for the Word of God to be well manifested in oneself. That is why we see people with disabilities. Some of us with disabilities have appreciated the Word of God. We have taken it because God could perform his own wonders through us. So also, brothers and sisters whom we see as disabled, It's probably a means of God trying to find a way for his manifestations to be done. There's a friend of mine called Nick Vujicic. He's a man with no hands and no legs. But thanks God, in certain societies, he would have been relegated into the dooms of antiquity. His disability would have disqualified him from even getting a woman to marry. But now Nick is a man who has 4 children and a beautiful woman. The last children, somewhat a wonder, 2 sons and 2 daughters, and the 2 daughters are identical twins. Brothers and sisters, disability can happen to anybody. And we have seen from the book of John that for God's work to be well manifested, that is why all these things happen. What I can tell you today is that what we can do to all brothers and sisters who are disabled is that we must try to give them the best encouragement we can. Because the Bible tells us in Proverbs 31:8-9 that we must speak for the speechless. The speechless are those who are disabled. Speak for them in a sense that they don't have anybody to speak for them. We must speak for the speechless. Speechless could be widows, could be orphans, could be disabled people, and all those guys who fall in my category, or the category of ministry which I preach. Brothers and sisters, as we continue to speak for the disabled, whom we term as speechless, let us continue to pray for them, continue to encourage them, continue to motivate them, continue to inspire them, for them to achieve the best they can on this continent. God richly bless you. Today is my 3rd version. Thanks, and God richly bless you.